Hi, I'm Dr. Lou Walters at the Source Wellness Center. Every year, one of the most popular New Year's resolutions is to lose weight. And I see this in the gym every January. It gets incredibly busy and it lasts maybe 6 to 8 weeks, and then the resolutions fall by the wayside. For those who are successful and end up losing weight, unfortunately, statistically speaking, most people who lose weight are likely to put that weight on plus additional weight. If you're watching this video, I imagine weight loss for either yourself or someone you care about is important and you're looking for some suggestions or tips. As a doctor and as well as in my own personal life, I have a lot of experience with weight loss. The first roughly 20 years of my life, I was obese. As a kid, I had heard of vegetables, but much like leprechauns and unicorns, I doubted their existence. I had never seen them, and I didn't know that they were real. I ate basically the fast food nation, lots of fast food, lots of junk food, lots of sugars, and I just overate. I ate every meal like it was Thanksgiving. As far as exercise as a kid, basically the only exercise I got was that slight struggle to open the plastic around a pair of cupcakes. I was sick almost all the time, but it was all I knew. I thought it was normal because I had no other experience. I would go to the doctor for all my illnesses and ailments, and they would just give me stuff for it and manage the symptoms and basically said I'd have it for life, get used to it. Like so many other people, I did all sorts of fad diets and exercise regimens, and I'd have success for maybe a short term, but I'd end up falling back into my old patterns and I'd put the weight back on, and like so many other people, I'd put additional weight on. It wasn't until my 20s that I discovered a formula that I had great success with. And not only have I had great success with this, but talking with people over the years who have lost and maintained their weight loss, I've seen these 5 things common in all these people. I also see it in my patients who, when we're working together, are successful losing weight following these 5 things. So for you or your loved ones, if you're trying to lose weight, these are 5 basic strategies to help you with your goals. 1, we need to make sustainable changes. Whatever it is that we're doing, we're not just doing this for a few weeks or a couple months till we hit some arbitrary number that we picked. We are trying to change the way we do things for life. The things we have to do need to be a long-term, permanent change. Now that doesn't mean that if you are trying to cut out ice cream, that you never get to eat ice cream again if that's your favorite food. It just means we don't have it every night, and we, instead of having a half gallon or a whole pint of Ben & Jerry's, we cut down how much we're eating. You still have to live, you still have to enjoy life. So making sustainable long-term changes, that's number 1. Number 2, people do better with gradual changes. It's, we get all motivated and gung-ho and we're going to eat nothing but salads and chicken and we're going to run 15 miles a day and lift weights, and we can do that for a few weeks, but it's too hard, and we need variety as well, and we end up falling back into our old patterns. So myself and I have found again over the years, when we make gradual changes, we start slowly phasing out the foods that aren't so good and slowly incorporating the foods that are better for us. We slowly build up our activity levels, and we make these changes by finding recipes and giving our body a chance to recover. We do better, and the changes that we're making, it makes it easier to make those sustainable changes. Number 3, food. So 1, there's the portions. We don't want to overeat. And 2, what we're eating is essential. If we just try to do it with exercise, we're not going to have long-term success. And we'll talk about that same with exercise, but that's all we do and we don't change our diets, we're not going to have great success. So what we're eating is going to be very important. It's not just about calories either. We want to eat nutrient-dense foods. There's certain nutrients that our body needs every day, and we want to make sure we're getting those. So if we eat more nutrient-dense foods, we won't have to eat as much. We want to cut out a lot of sugars and processed foods and bad fats. Grains, either all the way out or a minimum of them. If you think about it, when we fatten up livestock, we feed them grains to do so. So if we're eating a lot of breads and pastas and rices and those sort of things, cereals, it's going to tend to put on weight. As far as an ideal diet or way of eating, there's no one for every person. So I work with my patients to help optimize the food that they choose to eat for their goals and for their health. And whether you're working with me or somebody else, you can get help to do that. I can't tell you to eat this one set way for all people. It just doesn't work that way, unfortunately. The other thing is, the number 4 on our list is activity. So we have to be moving our body. Our bodies are designed to move. So we need to get regular activity and exercise. With activity, Fitbits are very common and very popular, and I find in my patient base that it gives a false sense of activity for most people. They'll look at their Fitbit and, oh, I walked 10,000 steps today. Problem is they didn't get their heart rate up and they didn't sustain an elevated heart rate, so it's not going to be effective for weight loss. I mean, if you're laying on the couch watching TV 12 hours a day and then you start walking 10,000 steps, that's definitely a step in the right direction. But for most people, walking 6,000 to 10,000 steps and not getting their heart rate up isn't going to help them with their goals to lose weight and to keep it off. So whether it be weight training, whether it be cardiovascular, or ideally both of those, we need to be getting activity in to help burn calories and to burn the fat that we already have. And number 5, and one of the most important, is support. Doing it alone is quite difficult, and it's easy to lose motivation and to give up. If we are going through it with somebody, whether it be a spouse or a boyfriend or girlfriend or a friend, or having a support group that meets to make sure you're exercising and to help with changing the diet and giving ideas for recipes and to be eating the same way, we're going to have much more success if we have support than if we try to go through it alone. Now, a couple of honorable mentions are metabolism. As we get older, our metabolism tends to slow down, and it does make it more challenging to lose weight. Now, I lost my weight when I was in my 20s when I had a faster metabolism. The older we get, the more challenging it does get to lose weight, and it gets easier to put on weight. So we have to account for that with, I work with my patients to do that, and if you're working with somebody, they can ask them about that, and they can probably help you. The other thing, honorable mention, is hormone balance. So if our hormones are out of whack, and that's a medical term, out of whack, our adrenals, cortisol especially, our thyroid, for women, their estrogen and progesterone levels, for men, their testosterone levels, all those interact with each other and can affect our ability to lose weight. So hypothyroid or too much cortisol, not enough testosterone, all these things can contribute to us having trouble losing weight or putting weight on. And that's something with your doctor, you can have lab tests to help evaluate to see if that is an issue for you. So I wish you the best of luck with your weight loss goals, whether it be for you or for a loved one. There's lots of other little tips and strategies and nuances that I can give you with that, but I don't want this video to be 20 minutes. If you would like additional help with this weight loss, if you're in the Bozeman area, you can come into the Source Wellness Center and make an appointment, and I'd be happy to help you and work with you. And if you are not in the Bozeman area, you could schedule a phone conference and we can see what we can do to help you with your goals. Again, I'm Dr. Lou Walters at the Source Wellness Center.